Hey everyone, welcome back to the Corbin Report. Nice talking with you guys. So we're talking about the draft lottery, who won that, top three, Mavericks, Spurs, and Sixers, and then playoffs as what happened last night and what to look forward to today, along with what happened with hockey playoffs last night, and some football news as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the Corbin Report on YouTube and Spotify. And thanks for those that do subscribe. Figure I'd do a little shout out to uh, Carson, Jack, my grandma, my dad, Kelly, everyone else that listens. Um, Also, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment on the comment section. Send me a message on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you use. And so we'll start off with the NBA draft lottery. So the top three teams were the Mavericks, Spurs, and Sixers. Sixers actually got the third pick in the lottery. Spurs got the second, which means the Mavericks got the first pick. And consensus, Cooper Flagg is consensus number one pick before the Mavs even got the number one pick. And now I can go into this with all the different lineups the Mavs have. He's, like I said, assumed go number one. And then they now have a small forward, like a starting small forward they actually need. And I did say they need a bench, but after researching, they do have quite a bit of people. They can get rid of some and put some on two ways, or even trade some to get some value. They now have a complete starting five, and they could be dangerous. I, I do think they could be the Pacers next year in the Western Conference, and also if they can all stay healthy and all return. There's so many potential lineups they could do. And I'll tell you a little bit about him, what I think. And Anthony Davis could play the 5, the center, or even the 4, the power forward. And according to ESPN.com is where I got the roster information, depth chart. And what I think, everyone stays here in the same lineups. I think their starting lineup could be point guard, Kyrie Irving, shooting guard, Klay Thompson, small forward, Cooper Flagg, of course, number one pick, and power forward, Anthony Davis or PJ Washington, or Anthony Davis and PJ Washington moves to the bench, and Daniel Gafford at the center. Or Daniel Gafford, they can trade and release. And their bench, that leaves too many big men, so that's where I would say they need, get rid of someone or not. Also, their bench could be point guard Spencer Dinwiddie, Jaden Harding at shooting guard, or Max Christie, Najee Marshall or Caleb Martin at small forward, even though Marshall's more of a power forward. But PJ could take that spot, and Gafford Lively at center, and they would need to trade to get some value back, as I mentioned earlier. Bench realistically would be Dinwiddie at point guard, Max Christie at shooting guard, Caleb Martin at small forward, PJ Washington at power forward, and then Lively or Gafford at center. You can see this is where having too many big men and too many people is a problem. So many lineups, you got to get rid of some people. Not that you want to, you just need to make some room. And also, let's not forget, another lineup could be Dinwiddie, Hardy, Christie at small forward, even though he's more shooting guard, in my opinion. Martin and Gafford Lively again at center. Then you could even go with Dinwiddie, Hardy at shooting guard, Christie, Marshall, Lively, or Gafford. Then here's another one. I told you I have a bunch, you could do Hardy at point guard, Christie at shooting guard, Caleb Martin at small forward, Najee Marshall at power forward, Gafford at center. As you can see, I think I can think of more lineups, including with PJ Washington. If he moves to the bench, he could even be the sixth man if head coach Jason Kidd decides not to start him. Basically, what I'm saying is the Mavericks have depth and plenty of people, but may have to release or trade some. And I think if they do this right, as I mentioned, they could be like the Pacers next year or the Western Conference, and they can go pretty far. And as mentioned, picks 2 and 3 belong to the Spurs and the Sixers. And then also, some players look out for in the draft, if they are in the draft, if they declare, include Canupel and Tyrese Proctor, shooters, pure shooters. I believe they're both from Duke. If I'm wrong, forgive me. And then now on to the playoffs. In Tuesday, May 13th, series-ending game at the start with the Cavs and Pacers. The Cavs were dominant against Indiana. However, Halliburton was in double digits, and that's why I think they were doing good. They did do good whether he scores or not. The Pacers are just too fast. When they go quick, they're dangerous. In a series-ending game, Halliburton had 31 points, and 18 points came from three-pointers. I did agree with the commentators. Cavs needed go in the paint more. The Cavs did have a double-digit lead, and they blew it. They were doing good when they slowed the pace down and going inside the paint, and it showed. When they stopped doing that, the Pacers just took over. And then here's kind of what happened if you missed it, the last minute and 7 of the fourth quarter. At 1:07, Pacers shooting guard Andrew Nembhard made a bucket. And they called and one on Garland, but I don't think it was a foul if you watch replay. Hands were straight up. And then I heard commentators say grab. I didn't see it when I saw the replay. Check for yourself. And then before that, Mitchell had 3 free throws, missed all 3. If he would have made those when he got fouled instead of missed all 3, they would have been down 2. And then the Cavs waited too long by not fouling. The clock went down to 23.2 seconds. And then center Miles Turner of the Pacers hit a corner 3 for the dagger, and the Pacers won the series 3-1 and on the road. And they are returning to the Eastern Conference Finals. They will most likely face New York Knicks now that Jason Tatum is injured and done for the season. If Tatum wasn't injured, I still think the Knicks would win. It would just the way they've been playing. And if the Knicks and Pacers are in the conference finals for the East, well, the Pacers are. If the Knicks make it, the Knicks are good defensively with Towns, Anunoby, and Bridges. And he literally stole the first 2 games in Boston. Pacers, I would say, they have the offense and balance in the bench. Pacers have a bench that plays and is in the rotation, and they can get buckets. The Knicks, they don't play their bench that much, and the way they play so fast, I think this will hurt the Knicks and help the Pacers. But let's not forget, Jalen Brunson, point guard for the Knicks, can go off, which is crazy. Yes, someone did tell me the Knicks could outlast the Pacers. I can see that because of how durable, I can see that because of how durable they are. But I think fresh legs do play a factor. Then heading over to the Western Conference matchup for Tuesday, May 13th, it was the Denver Nuggets facing off the OKC Thunder in a 2-2 series tie lead. Now it was 3-2. In the first possession, Denver started out with a zone defense against OKC, and OKC in their third possession, it was like a defense kind of zone. I couldn't tell what it looked like. Defense man zone. And then this game was close, back and forth. And at the end of the fourth, it was tied before the Thunder just took over. I think in Game 6, we can see one of 2 things happening that have already happened in this series. Either the Thunder blow the Nuggets out of the water, or the Nuggets will win on a game winner by, guess who? Power forward Aaron Gordon. I do think he can go 7 games and back in OKC, and might be a thriller. And then Wednesday, May 14th, Knicks look to close out the Celtics without Tatum and reach Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. First time since 2000. And their opponent, then guess who? The Pacers, according to StatMuse.com. Then in the Western Conference, the Warriors hope to win to go down 3-2 against the Wolves in Minnesota, heading back, and hopefully for a Curry return if he doesn't return for Game 5 today, May 14th. While the Wolves had other plans of sending them home and reaching the Western Conference Finals, I believe for the 2nd year in a row. And then some hockey games. It was only one, Dallas Stars and the Winnipeg Jets. This is what I played. This is what I watched, saw that I thought was pretty interesting. Dallas had a power play, and at 12:37, I believe the third period, might have to check that, the Stars scored to go up 3-1, and then the person who scored had a hat trick, Granlund. Jets goalie was trying. Dallas, I know, it was power play, like I said, but it looks like they're able to get a bunch of chances and second chance opportunities when they miss. Dallas was up one after one period. The Stars would go on to win 3-1. So I think 12:37. That was the third period. And then in other news, heading to NFL. Yes, it's offseason, I know. And the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens, according to NFL.com, they signed Derrick Henry, running back, to a 2-year extension with $25 million guaranteed. According to NFL.com, they said Henry had a league-leading 16 rush touchdowns and ran for 1,921 yards. That is 79 yards shy of a 2,000-yard season. Some questions I thought while typing this. Can Henry reach 2,000 yards and do it in 16 games, not 17 next season? And can the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl and finally get over the hump in the playoffs? And also, is there anything else you want to hear or what you'd like to hear my take or thoughts on? Feel free to comment on all social media profiles, Twitter, Corbin Report, Facebook page, The Corbin Report, Instagram, The Corbin Report. Comment, YouTube, Corbin Report, subscribe. Follow for more information, comment, message. And thanks for listening. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.